Good evening.
Good evening, kind sir. And Peanut, the precious Peanut
Oh,
Buttercup, is home from vacation because we were traveling for 7 days. And I think she thought that maybe I had given her away based on the expression on her face when I went to pick her up. She's like, "Oh my God, you're back." Yes.
but it
And then,
looks like she had fun on her stay over though. I saw tons of toys for her to play with and all sorts of things.
yes, and yet the woman Valerie and her husband Jeremy and their children that extended every kindness to my dog. When she saw me, you would have thought she was trying to leap from the arms of a demon to get back in my arms. And then she turned around and kissed her like, "Thank you very much. It was really great fun, but I gotta go." It was, oh my God, it was so precious. She had never stayed with anybody besides our family before. And so now we have an extended family and they live close enough that she's actually going to be spending Halloween with them while you and I and all our group, our cohorts, do the live stream from on the Dark Zone from the farmhouse. So she's going trick-or-treating with a bunch of teenage girls. And I don't know if you saw, but she now has got pink fingernails, pink toenails. She's all pretty in pink. I know that she sat still and let them do that. She let them do that. I have to take her to the vet to have her nails trimmed because she won't let me. Oh, that's my eye makeup. She won't let me even touch her nails. And yet she comes back to me with every one of them done perfectly. It was great. So wow, that aside, we're going to start on a happy high note here and just go higher. I have a special announcement to make, and that is that our very special guests tonight, Kim Dotson and Justin Arnold, who are good friends and I've known for, I guess, 5 or 6 years now that I've known them, and I've done the Mid-Michigan Paracon several times. I didn't think that I could do it this year because I was scheduled to be in Salem, Massachusetts. Well, that event got kicked forward till 2022. And don't lick the computer, honey. Oh, my God. Hold on just a second. Hold on. All right. Now I'm back. Oh, God. Okay. Don't lick the computer, honey. And so I'm going to be joining them on November 6th and 7th, I believe, are the dates. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I am actually making another trip back to Michigan. I just got back from Michigan.
Right.
So I'm going back into the frozen tundra so that I can celebrate life and all of its wonders with my friends Kim and Justin and a wide variety of paranormal people whom I adore.
And awesome.
Yeah, so I wanted to announce that on the show so that, we affectionately now refer to it as Mid-Mish. It's been around so long that it's been abbreviated. But it's in Flint, Michigan. There we go, Mid-Michigan. Yep, November 7th, although we're getting together on the evening of the 6th for a fundraising dinner. And so tonight is supposed to be not only a celebration of our friendship and my adoration for these spectacular people, but also to, let people know that this event is coming. And if you are within driving distance, walking distance, any kind of distance, get to this event because it really is not only it's one of the last of the season before we all kind of shut down and get together to be with our families over the holidays, but it is also one of the most uplifting, truly inspiring events that I have attended. And coming off of the UFO contact in Houghton Lake, that's saying something.
Right. Exactly.
I just did that. And I've been traveling now for about 7 weeks, pretty much nonstop. Yeah, and it's been a wild ride getting back in the saddle, let me tell you, after pretty much 18 months of sitting around in front of my computer, just doing my thing here, getting back out amongst the living that aren't in virtual land has been amazing. Absolutely,
that's got to feel great. Yeah,
it does. Well, you've been traveling too, so you know it's wonderful to get together with our friends.
It is.
None of us are going to ever take each other for granted again. Tony, I mean, really, what we've been through, what we're still going through, not only as a nation, but the whole world.
Right.
None of us can afford to ever just presume that we're going to see each other again. And that brings a kind of an intimacy, almost an urgency to us being together. And as we were parting ways from Houghton Lake, I kept hearing the same phrase over and over again, which I guess is the new mantra, which is drive safe, don't die. So one refers to traffic and the other one refers to COVID.
Right.
And, you know, it is that little reminder, even though done tongue in cheek and jovially, like an order, drive safe, don't die. That's always a possibility. And none of us can ever afford to take each other for granted again. None of us are leaving saying, I'll see you at the next Paracon. I'll see you at the next event. I'll see you soon. You know, it has reshaped our perception of here and now and the value of living existentially in the moment and loving each other powerfully in the moment.
Right. It's probably the one silver lining in amongst the negativity that COVID caused, is that you're absolutely right. I think we all learned right to the heart that you can't take that stuff for granted, and you don't know when and if you're going to get to see whomever it is you're seeing again. And you got to take that to heart.
Yes, absolutely. That said, brilliantly, by the way.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce our guests tonight, and that is Kim Dotson and Justin Arnold. Welcome to the show, my friends.
Thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure. Oh, okay, so let's go. First and foremost, you know, all of your information is attached to the link to the show. So anybody that wants to get tickets, get them and hurry up, because I know you only have so many that you can sell before you space out of that space. So, oh, Holly, hello, darling. It is so important to me and such a thrill to be able to announce that I'll be joining you this year, even though for months we thought that was not a possibility. Because why? Because I placed an order for a clone machine from Amazon like 2 years ago, and that son of a bitch is still on back order. I paid in advance and I still don't have it, or I can blame the Postal Service. It doesn't matter who I blame. I don't have it. And so therefore I cannot be in two places at once. And Greta Riefert, my agent, my representative, she reminded me yesterday that I have your weekend open now because my Salem event got moved to next year. And I was like, oh my God, I have to call Kim. Just in case she wants me to come. I have to call Kim.
It was a great phone call.
It was for me too.
We were happy.
Yes, yes. And I am as well. And Cass is as well. She's like, I'm not going to see you again until next year. I was like, oh, quit your whining. You never know what the universe has told, you know, and
there you go.
Then voila, the next day. Yeah. So, so anyway, talk about, I know, Kim, for you, you really began your spiritual journey differently, not so rooted in the paranormal, but really much more so in spiritualism. And then it kind of morphed into this deeper, a deeper, a richer, larger umbrella that you got into this. So why don't you talk about that, and then we'll let Justin tell his backstory, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So for me, I grew up in a very strict Catholic family. I always knew I was different. And, this is, weekly religious classes. We were in mass, a few days a week. And so it was quite strict on the Catholic upbringing. But I knew I was different because I just knew things. And I didn't know. I can remember back to 5 years old. That's my earliest memory where I'm talking to spirits, or I just knew things were going to happen. I remember distinctly when my mother was sleeping. It was 3 a.m. The phone rang, and I just screamed out from my room, "Mom, it's your boss. He's dead." And my mom just comes running out of her room. This is, when phones were on a wall, ringing.
Right.
So she ran out to take the phone call, and she said, yeah, oh my gosh, and he had passed away. So, she just looked at me and said, "Kimberly, you can't do that," like I did it. So I grew up in this kind of manner where I knew things that maybe I shouldn't know, just kind of struggling all the time with religion because, I was in, pretty much every church, because even though we were Catholic, I would go to all the summer Bible schools and just kind of like, devouring any type of religion that I could. But they were very clear that that wasn't okay, for me to tell them things that were going to happen, or, that if my grandmother had come through. But an interesting kind of facet on the family was tea leaf reading. It was very weird because even though, everything was very strict religious wise, and, I couldn't speak of the other things that I thought or was seeing or hearing. The interesting part was, after we had family dinners, when everybody was together, the men would go outside, smoke their cigarettes or their cigars, and the ladies would all retire to the front room to tea leaf read. And I was always like, wow, and I was the youngest cousin. So for me, it was easy because I was too young to go do the dishes and do all the cleanup. So I would usher out with them and learn tea leaf reading, as a very little girl. So it was just kind of an interesting kind of, growing up, kind of always trying to be stifled, like, this is what I do. This is what I know. I remember my parents coming to the neighbor's house and pulling me out. I think, again, I was probably about 9 years old. And I was sitting, they were all in their living room, sitting on their couches, and they had me in the middle of the room. I mean, today that would probably be really crazy, but I was telling them things, I was talking to their relatives that were on the other side, telling them things that were going to happen. And my parents come in and like rip me out of this house. Like, like, you can't do this, to me, it was just so normal and natural. And so I didn't understand why. So, being the good girl that I am, I would read my friends growing up. And, I have a friend who now says that when we were on the bus when we were little, I wouldn't let anybody off the bus unless I let me pull a reading card or playing card. I carried a deck of cards with me, and they couldn't get off the bus unless they let me pull a card for them. So it's so funny, to think about that, doing that my entire life, even though I was not supposed to be. So, I went to college, got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I went to FGCU, and I graduated with actually a USF degree in criminal justice, and was ready to head it out and hit it. And all of a sudden, I just had this kind of like awakening type of energy that I didn't care anymore if anybody thought it was okay. This is who I was. A spirit was speaking, like, this is what I have to do. I must do. And so to my parents' chagrin, they were, "You just graduated from college. You just got your bachelor's degree." And I said, "Yeah, I know, crazy, right? But this is my life." And awesome for them, as they did both pass. But as they were, working with me on this now, knowing this is what I do, this is my life, they actually enveloped that and embraced me. And actually, we had a lot of discussion on it. And it was really great at the end of both their passing. Each of my parents picked a word and said, "When when we're over there, we're going to say this word and you'll know it's us." So it really kind of cool from them, growing up in a way where it was not okay, to be who I was and do what I do, to my parents, actually my dad right before his passing saying to me, "I love that you followed your heart. I love that you followed your spirit." And, so that was kind of great. But yes, with the paranormal, we had lots of experience being young. But again, I couldn't talk to anybody about that, anything that was happening and everything that I had. And so I actually had this kind of energy, like with, being a reader, doing readings, doing Reiki, doing healing, but I did not deal with the paranormal. That was just something that was outside of me. But of course, you know, you get that changes where you have an experience where you have to, right? Where you kind of enter it. So what is interesting is Justin and I like to really kind of say, you know, we're kind of different in the arena that of being event coordinators, because you know we didn't write a book about the paranormal. We don't have a paranormal investigative team. We love learning. That's why we do what we do. We love when we go on hunts, and are we, you know, like John Cassidy recently when we were at Potographs, you know, and he has all that equipment. We're like geeks, like, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Right? So we are a little bit different because we're not, you know, paranormal experts, or, you know, and we're still learning. And that is probably one of the reasons we wanted to have a paranormal convention, because there's people like us, and in our area, Grand Blanc, Flint, you know, the mid-Michigan area, we didn't have anything like that. So I know us as paranormal enthusiasts kind of learning more. It was you know, it's kind of fun to have the paranormal come up, you know. And now have, you know, it's our 4th year hosting the Mid-Michigan Paracon. So just kind of fun to meet everybody like a family, you know. We're the new kids on the block, but everyone's so kind and nice to us. And you know, just that's just kind of who we are. So I'll let Justin tell his stories, and I probably went too long.
No, there's no such thing, you see, because it's your show. It's your show
Oh,
tonight.
oh yeah.
And you
Well,
know,
in that case,
and the thing is
1972.
that, and there are no experts in the paranormal. There aren't. We're all learning. We're all finding our way in the dark. All of us are. So, you know, don't feel like you're the new kid on the block. Don't feel like you somehow know less, or that you you know, haven't quite grown in your wisdom, when in fact you've been a practitioner your entire life, my dear. So
Right.
own that.
Yeah.
Own it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of
Thanks.
you.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, give it
Yeah.
to us,
Been
babe.
quite the
Give it to
ride.
us.
So, I don't know if I got as much wind as Kim. No. So I grew up, my dad worked for GM and my mom was a medical transcriptionist. So my family had no background in metaphysics, spirituality. I was raised Lutheran. My mom was a Sunday school teacher, so I was raised in the Lutheran faith. And I was the epitome of the word rebel growing up, even as a kid, even as a little tiny kid. I didn't want to do what everybody else did. I didn't want to follow down the line. So I grew up very, very, very creative. And it caused a lot of struggles in high school, but I found my way out and through that, through spirituality, through metaphysics. And I walked into my downtown local witch shop at the time. It was Indigo Age. And they sold through a couple different people, and I kind of just came with the shop, I guess, as it switched people. I would find myself helping people out, volunteering for the shop, doing a lot of creative work with them. And that just turned into another shop reaching out, and another shop reaching out, and then another shop reaching out. So I've kind of been in the spiritual metaphysical realm for quite some time, I think since like 2003. But like I said, I've always been very, very creative. My A lot of my gifts actually come from my grandmother. She's always kind of whispered in my ear growing up. So a lot of my magic and my practice has all been kind of self-intuited. However, you know, I get kicked out of school for reading witch books. So, but I'd read everything that I could on the lineages and witchcraft and the traditions, and you know, the ones that came before us with Raymond Buckland and Gerald Gardner, and just following that line to educate myself. And I was running a shop in Flint on Fenton Road, and Kim was one of our psychics, was managing the shop at the time, and we met each other, and magic happened. We started Magical Michigan Events is kind of just like an umbrella for everything that we do. You know, we did hippie shows, the witches shows, the paranormal shows. But you know, I just really I love to be creative, and a lot of my creativity is intuitive. A lot of people don't know that. I go with what I feel. I'm very in touch with my emotions, and it shows in my advertising, my ads, my some of the text that you read, some of the videos that I do in the marketing. So I really just like to create. That's most of mine. But I make that magic in just about everything I create. So that's me.
And he's a Leo.
And I'm a Leo.
So we always like our joke, a Leo and a Virgo walked into a bar.
And the place exploded. Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And then the Libra showed up and really screwed everything to the wall.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That's fine.
Okay, I know what Tony's thinking, the man behind the curtain, the magic man. He's like, what the hell happened to Justin's audio? What the hell happened? Because your audio is now about half of what Kim's is. And I just want to make sure that everybody can hear you. So just when you speak up a little bit, because we, you know, I don't know about the filters or, you know, the gobbledygook on the phone, but I want to make sure nobody misses anything that you say. Okay. So be assertive.
Okay.
Be like me, big mouth.
All right.
You know, out it comes. Out it comes. And Kim, you sound perfect. Yours is coming through fine.
Okay, great.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think that we gather together like birds of a feather for a reason. I think that we are all coming together. Okay, it says, Holly says we can hear him, but his audio is 20 seconds off. And that's probably because you're using a phone. And it's fine. It's just, you know, it's just a little, I'm just grateful every day that the freaking internet did not crash when COVID hit.
Yeah.
You know,
well, we're also in Higgins Lake, Michigan, you know, way up north in the woods.
Yeah.
So that could also probably be something.
Yeah. That you have any signal at all is, you know, proof of the existence of God.
A miracle.
Yeah, a miracle. So, so you know, we'll just run with it, do the best that we can, and I'm just so delighted to be with the two of you tonight. And I want, you know, I want to talk about not only the fact that, you know, we are going to gather together for this event and what light it brings into the world, but that this year you're adding a new dimension to it, so to speak. And so I want you to tell our potential para people, you know, coming to this event, what to expect that's different from prior Mid-Michigan paranormal conferences.
Yeah. Well, we've had, you know, after having our first three events, we had a lot of people. We always try to do, you know, survey. What did you like? What did you not like? And also interesting thing that we do is we actually place people. We actually have these volunteers that we put in every single room. They walk the whole place with like notepads, and they listen to what people say. You know, they just kind of get the whole vibe. They tell us what they liked, what they didn't. So we get a really good perspective of what works and what doesn't. So one of the things that a lot of people wanted was more. One thing about our event is it's held on a Sunday. Now that may not be something we do forever, but it's something we started doing on Sunday. And everybody said, you know, you should do something that's, you know, maybe 2 days. So we decided this year, listening to everybody, that we're going to add on a Saturday night. It's a VIP fundraiser, charity event dinner for our Ashton's Angels. So if, I mean, anybody out there who's going to any of the events in Michigan, you probably have met Shelly Hawkins and Stacy Putnam. They are absolutely amazing, and they run a nonprofit organization called Ashton's Angels for Ashton, who is Stacy Putnam's son. And we absolutely love those two. They were one of the first people we met when we went to, I think it was Traverse City Petoskey to John's event. We met them there and just fell in love with them. They're amazing. Their work is amazing. The Ouija boards that they make are phenomenal. Their witch balls, all of their jewelry and the runes, handcrafted, but their story, why they do what they do to help other people, other families who went through what Stacy went through with Ashton, losing her son Ashton. And so we thought, you know, we could be helping somebody, help these guys with their cause, plus have such a great fun night. And actually, Andrea, before she was going to actually be with us, was going to surprise everybody, and we were going to have a lecture with her. But so we're doing a really cool thing on Saturday night, the 6th, at the Holiday Inn Gateway Center, where our Paracon is. We have a fun dinner planned. We have Ashton's Angels are going to be there. The proceeds are going to go to their organization. We have great speakers coming in. We have games. We have we're going to be playing Paranormal Family Feud, which we are so excited about.
I want in on that. I want in on that.
I know, it's going to be great. Yes, and we're going to actually be able to have some of the the attendees drawn to actually play with the paranormal celebrities. So we're so excited. We have Roxanne Rhodes out of Flint. She does Haunted Flint. She knows Flint like nobody else. And she's going to come in and talk a little bit about that. We have Rick Wade. And if you haven't met Rick Wade, he's phenomenal. He's going to do a presentation for us as well. And we have Andrea. We have a lot of Daniel Clace is coming. We have so much fun planned for that night. And it's going to turn into karaoke. So you could win a coveted trophy at our karaoke contest. We've got music. We've got Firemind Entertainment coming in, pulling out all the stops for a real fun party too. So we're kind of doing it backwards. So like we have all of that the night before, and then Sunday is the main event, so to say. So yeah, that's what we're adding new that for this year is our Saturday night ticket. And you can still get tickets. We're going to have raffles, giveaways, so much fun. And again, just for a great cause. And plus, it's going to be a blast and a big karaoke party, which is going to be so fun. And you really do want to try to win one of the coveted trophies. They're going to be awesome.
Yeah. Cash bar.
And cash bar. Yeah, there's cash bar. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, cash bar. Yeah. But it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. Another way to spend more time together. Again, that's what people have asked. Attendees have said to us, we want to have some fun. Let's, can we do something like that? So we've added it. It's going to be a great time. Plus with Ashton's Angels, we just love them. And we're super excited to be able to help them out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cass must know I'm talking to Michiganders because she's calling me. Now, she also knows it's Thursday night. It's after 9 o'clock. It is a world awakening. And, the woman is, you met her, you know what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah.
So hold on just a second. Keep talking while I tell Cass I'm doing my show. Oh,
you got it.
Woman. Oh,
yeah,
my God.
You can still get tickets if you're interested. Well, she's talking to Cass. You can get tickets at midmishparacon.com for the dinner, and of course the main ticket for Sunday. And Sunday, what a great lineup we have. We have, of course, Miss Andrea Perrin. We have John Tenney, one of our, favorites. We have 2 of the 3 Ghost Brothers. We have Juwan and we have Dalen coming out. Very excited to have. They are amazing, so fun. We have Shatan Noor and with cryptidology. She's like one of my favorites. I love listening to her, especially being in Michigan, living in Michigan. I love everything that she has to say. Kat Tedson. I mean, who can't love Kat? I love her books. I think even before I was, in paranormal, I always had her books in my sunroom for my guests that would come up in the summertime. Love and Kat's coming. With her Michigan tales. I'm so excited. Adam Weisslich and Debbie Markham. Yay. They're so cool. Daniel Class, we love. He's, Daniel, like Hinsdale House, like from day one, he's been one of our best supporters. And he's just, so kind to us. So he's like one of our favorite people ever. So excited to have Daniel coming out, of Rick Wade and Tyler Strand. Coming back out. We love Tyler. He's amazing. We actually met him in a parking lot. Weird, fun story. Yeah, super weird. Met him in a parking lot and he was like, something about, the thing about Tommy knockers. That's how we started it. What? Tell us about Tommy knockers. We love Tyler Strand. He's amazing. We've got Nicole Beauchamp coming with out of Bay City. She has a Haunted Bay City author plus has her own investigative group out of Michigan. And we have, we have some side things going on too, because we also have our private events. So we have Kristen Roberts, and I know you know Kristen Roberts. She's been on your show.
I love
We love
her.
Kristen. I'm actually 9 minutes from Kristen as we speak. She lives 9 minutes. We're door to door. We're 9 minutes away from each other. I'm on the south side of Higgins Lake. She's on the north side of Higgins Lake. But Kristen's going to be running one of our most well-attended private sessions, Seance. She's going to be doing that for us. We have, Brian Danhausen, his energy paintings, amazing. He's going to be doing an energy painting gallery.
Okay.
And we also have Axie Smith coming for her spiritual mediumship, and she'll also be speaking too. So really excited that we've got a great lineup, great fun. It's one of our favorite things to do. As Justin said, we wear a lot of hats. We do Witches Weekends. So that's, October is kind of like the witchy season. So, and we run headquarters, Witches Headquarters, Peace, Love, and Hippies festivals, and psychic holistic events. And we're doing, and then of course the winter retreats and Mid-Mish Paracon coming up. So we're excited. Yeah.
I know, this is great. Okay, so listen, I'm saying this out publicly so that nobody thinks I'm, finagling, pulling strings behind the back. I want it known publicly. Whoever is assigning the tables in the vendor room, I need to be as close to John Tenney as possible, because if he starts reading aloud from his book, I have to pick this phone up and film it, or Lynn and Jeff have to pick up the phone and film it, because we got one of the best little mini videos a couple of years ago when he was reading what was
Cinderella.
it?
Yeah.
Cinderella. Oh my God, the man is so twisted. It's so great. So yeah, please put me near him so I can keep an eye on him.
Sure.
I haven't even asked him yet if it's okay if I lecture with him, since I'm like, I'm late to the party here. But I'll check and make sure it's cool with Tenny before I barge up on stage with him.
Yeah, we'll figure it out either way.
Yeah,
we're excited too. With our vendor room, we have a lot of vendors and speakers, that in our vendor area. So we usually end up with, we have like 60 something. Well, boy, this year we really added on the Holiday Inn, added on this entirely big, huge, giant courtyard. So we even have more. So we'll have approximately 100 different types of vendors at the event. So excited. That's our Haunted Halls and Magical Marketplace vendor hall. So it's awesome. So, our attendees, of course, it comes with your ticket to be able to walk through. But we also often offer an opportunity to the public, if they're just interested in walking through the Haunted Halls and Magical Marketplace, they can just do that as a ticket too, and so they can still kind of experience it. We've found doing this, we'll have a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't do the paranormal, I just want to do this part. And then by the end, they're like, can we get a ticket to that seance? Can we add on a ticket to get into there and listen to them talk? They love it. So yeah, we're really excited to have a lot more vendors than we have had in the past. So and so many amazing vendors too, that do everything. You can't even, amazing readers and healers to candles, and
even the dark, like there's so much dark artists and macabre artists. There's Ling Xiao's song. She's an amazing artist with these just surreal, very natural, organic, mixed with macabre and gothic.
Cool.
She's just amazing. There's a lot of really cool artists coming.
Oh, it's gothic, everything. Okay, so suddenly your sound has healed. I don't understand why, but now you sound perfect, and your words match your lips. So this is good. It's a miracle.
Fabulous.
It's just a miracle.
Yay.
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Oh, Lynn's with us. Hi, baby. Here's my baby. Okay, what was I? Oh God, I lost my train of thought because I got kissed. And when I get kissed, my brain just goes blank. It goes blank. Okay. Oh yeah. So I was going to Zoom in. I mean, we talked months ago. I was going to Zoom in or Skype in and have Justin, the techno genius, set it up so that I could
Whip it up.
talk
Yep.
to everybody at one time at the party, and now I get to be there and
I know,
enjoy
it's
it.
exciting.
And
Yeah.
you know, but I got a feeling I'm gonna, with that many vendors, I'm gonna leave broke. I am, because
Oh.
there's gonna be somebody there
Yes.
that's got stuff that I have to have that I cannot live
So
without.
much fun.
Stuff and more stuff. I know how it goes. I
Oh,
know how it goes.
It's
I
bad.
mean, I hit Chris and Wes's Chris and Wes Carpenter. I hit their table of stones and accoutrement up at UFO
They
Contact.
have amazing, yeah.
You know, here, just take my wallet. Just take it. Just take it. Everything. Just turn it over upside down. Take it all, because you know. But at least I've got my Christmas shopping done. From
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, it's great. I mean, people expect to get weird shit from me. They do. They just do.
Well,
They would be disappointed if I didn't give them a rock for Christmas,
Right.
or I didn't give them, you know, a little statue of something, or you know, if I didn't, they would think, oh, what's wrong with her? You know, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean something normal? It's got to be something paranormal. It's just got to be
really important.
what?
Megan, we forgot to tell you about Megan.
Megan.
Well, all right. Well,
That's
tell us all about Megan.
Yeah.
Well, Megan is our new partner, Megan.
Yeah.
And so, if anybody, I mean, everybody was and always will, because it's so amazing at Michigan Paracon. My daughter Megan experience with anything paranormal, and she's actually joined our team.
Yep.
So I guess we should have started
third
with that.
partner.
She is another partner.
She's new and different.
Yeah.
So that's the
new
thing.
and different.
Yeah.
That is something new with Michigan Paracon is Megan.
Yeah.
So she couldn't be with us tonight. She's in Grand Blanc, and of course we're in the frozen tundra of Higgins Lake. So, but yeah, we forgot. But she'll be at. You'll see her. Yeah. She
Well, and you've seen her. You know, most of those in Flint have seen her on the news. They've seen us on the news. Yeah. So I mean, Megan's been a fabulous help with Paracon for several years. But now she's taken on that partnership role, and we're happy. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, it's always best to just, you know, as the work increases and the event grows, you better be able to, you know, spread the workload a little bit. It's the only thing that makes sense, you know. And I'm sure she's very familiar with everything that you do and can step in, hit the ground running. So that's fantastic. I know her. I've met her. She's beautiful. Just like her mama. She is beautiful, just like her mama.
With your dad, she loves Roger so much. She made us go up the next. I remember she's like, "I got to get up there and get a picture."
It's Roger.
I got to go get Roger. I got to get a picture. I got to. So she was so cute waiting for him. He was coming down, like talking here, talking there, and she just stood there. She's like, "I'm waiting. I'm just waiting right here." And so she got her picture. It's so cute. I sent it to his messenger too. So.
Oh,
he
so
said he would have married her. He said if he was younger, he was going to marry her.
Well, I'll give you his phone number later. You know, I'm not going to put it out, you know. But yeah, he doesn't. My father does not really. He's got all kinds of issues with his Facebook and Messenger and everything. Since he got a new computer, Facebook has kind of locked him out. He doesn't know how to get back in. I don't know how to get him back in. So he's not going to see that picture unless you send it to me in my phone. Do that. Just send it to me, and then I'll send it to him.
I'm going to.
Yeah, she'll be thrilled. He'll be thrilled. That's great. That's and then I can, if I've got it, then I can put it up. I can, you know, put it up. So that'll be marvelous. Thank you. Don't forget now. Don't forget to send it to me. Okay. Very good. Okay, so let's talk about the value of bringing everyone together in this way. And I'll start. I think that the great value in us coming together again is twofold now. It used to just be, you know, pre-COVID. It used to be, wow, this is so great. I'm with all of these incredible people at this beautiful event, and we're all loving each other powerfully, and we're all exchanging gifts and hugs and kisses and just being so open with each other, to be in the presence of people that you can speak your truth to and not be judged, I think holds tremendous value. Now we're doing something that's on the other side of a catastrophe, right?
Yep.
Yep. A catastrophe that is still unfolding. And so we're taking a risk coming together. I know most everybody's been doing everything on the honor system. Personally, I am all vaxxed up and ready to go. Before I even see you, I'm going to have the third shot, the booster. Excuse me. Great. And I cough like I've got COVID. And
subliminal, don't worry about it. No.
Well, there's enough of a distance. I think we're pretty safe. But we're living in scary times. I mean, things that people should have legitimate fear about. And I know that you haven't, and nobody that I've gone to an event with so far has requested to see vaccination cards, has required mask wearing. Masks only cover you about 40 to 50% anyway. I mean, it helps, but it's not a foolproof solution. And yet, even though I have felt some of the paranoia around this, and Zaffis wore his mask for most of the Uper event. Schrader did. He finally just said, "Oh, fuck it," and threw it away. But at what point he's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I'm having too much fun. Let's just do this. But this is something that we are now all having to consider. And when we were leaving the UFO contact, I kept hearing the same phrase over and over again, and I was like, "Wow, okay." This is the new mantra for 2021, now that we're all gathering together again. And it goes like this: drive safe, don't die. That's what everybody was saying to each other. Drive safe, because everybody on the road is an idiot. And don't die because COVID. And so, this is not a new normal. Nothing's ever going to be normal again. It's not for years. And so we're having to make that adjustment. And in terms of your approach to it, with Mid-Michigan, I know everybody's been really good about having hand sanitizer around everywhere and, making sure that everything's as clean as it can be. But, we're sucking each other's faces off. And I mean, I always have somebody in my arms, and I can't help that. I can't stand 10 feet away from people and say namaste. I cannot. That is not what I am made of. If I am going to put myself back out there, I have to have that physical connection. That, the psychic connection, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual connection with the people that I encounter. And I don't want them to feel like they've got to keep a distance from me, because that defeats the purpose of us getting together. It does. And I want your take on this as promoters, as developers, as creators of this event. How is this now so much different after having skipped a year and from 2019? How is this different? What's your approach? What's your philosophy about it? And what precautions are you taking, if any? How do you what even made you think that this was an okay thing to do, that brought you to the place where you're comfortable and confident in having this convention in the midst of a global pandemic?
Well, for us, we, one, I'm in rural Michigan. So we could say, last year, our numbers for in our entire county, I think we had 24 cases. We were very different than most of the state. And so as everywhere, then our numbers, started climbing.
Right.
We were still okay to have events. So all the way through, we're talking last year, even in 2020, we're still having events, but we're watching. We did cancel the Paracon because of the numbers. Obviously, we were watching and paying attention and talking. Every time we had something planned last year, we would meet with the police department even. We would physically have a meeting to talk about what they thought, what we should do, how getting people farther away from each other, moving our events outside. We actually did that because we knew it wasn't safe at that time to put people together.
Right.
So that was, and precautions were following everything that we were hearing with CDC recommendations, with sanitizer, with you couldn't get in. We limited, them coming in when that many left.
Yep.
That many could come in. We made sure we followed and
capacity restrictions and
yes.
Even just making sure that our venues, a lot of them couldn't be at full capacity. It was 25%.
Right.
So a lot of our guests, they were a little upset because they couldn't get in or they had to wait a little bit. But we, in that time, we didn't have a vaccine last year. We didn't have, all we really did have was the mask and what we could mitigate ourselves. So we had, we did have the temperature check, spacing for vendors farther away, hand sanitizer, and even with the mask mandates, a lot of people, like we had festivals up here in Northern Michigan, and they were it was about 90% in masks, and it's kind of like, we want you to be safe. So if you're comfortable with wearing a mask, please be comfortable. Be comfortable, but know that there's a risk. It is like you said, Andrea, it is a risk to just meet. And I know just personally with myself, I'm willing to take that risk because I have faith. Faith in whatever. I am vaccinated, but I do have that, I need that connection as well. I think I don't think there's a single person on this world that hasn't been touched by what happened.
That's right.
Personally, I think it's a serious concern. Definitely, you need to do your research. You need to be paying attention to what's going on around you. We were up at 2:00 in the morning looking for laws changing and reading these mandates and making sure that we could do it safely.
Yes.
So, and this year with everyone being vaccinated, it's and obviously going into the fall and being, hopefully those numbers don't go up, but. Even just following some of those protocols, making sure that there's sanitizer, keeping spaces between. I know the courtyard that we opened up for our vendors, it's not, there's no ceiling. It's got a super high ceiling. So there's more, instead of congesting everyone to one area, we've now opened it up to the whole hotel to where there's not going to be this jumble of people in one spot. They're going to be able to kind of commingle and have staff come in and wipe down the place and all that. So it's not like we're not ignoring it by any means, but I guess we're addressing it. We're addressing it how we need to with each individual event in each area. I mean, you have to.
Yep. Well,
So,
I have, as I've gone from event to event to event, what I've seen are people being responsible, people being aware, not being really not self-conscious, but conscious. This
Correct.
is, I think that it has finally sunk in to a lot of thick-headed people that, yes, this is real. And people are dying. Approximately 2,000 Americans a day are dying right now from this virus. 70 million Americans are still not yet vaccinated for whatever reason. But we're also aware that there's a risk in everything that we do in life. Every single thing that we do. Walking across the parking lot of a supermarket can be the last stroll that you take. It's to me, all of this has made us more existential, has made us more living in the moment, has made us more aware of our surroundings, and has heightened our senses in terms of our own mortality. I think that, this singular event has caused all of us to examine our mortality all simultaneously worldwide, because none of us have any protection, nothing innate. There is no protection from this other than what science conjured up over the last couple of years to protect us, to the extent that it is able, to whatever percentage it is able. But even fully vaccinated, occasionally a person who is fully vaccinated has a breakthrough infection that intermingles with another underlying condition, and poof, they're gone, just like that.
Right.
And it's just, for me, it just taps right into the whole life and death and afterlife thing. I have never found the paranormal field more pertinent than it is right now. As we're losing our loved ones in droves, and even if we haven't lost somebody that we love dearly personally in our own family, we know someone who has.
Oh yeah.
And it just
and, we've had loss. Our one of our psychics that work with us has worked so many of our events. We lost her, Adriana, and so that was real personal. Someone that I've done. She had a radio show, and I would do her show with her, and and working different events with her. So she's no longer with us. And that was it hit me. I personally I've lost 9 friends, and I'm a bit choked up because. And it started, I don't mean to get so super sad, but it's so important because it's real. My granddaughter, she was in the homecoming Queen's Court, and her partner boy that was picked as on the court running for the homecoming king. He's 20 years old, and he passed. And his father both passed, and so it was very early on. And that was our first heart hit, whoa, and it was her only son, his mom, and she lost her husband and her son, and, it was right in Grand Blanc, and everybody knew Freddie. So, and then to keep moving to, losing friend after friend after friend. So it has hit personally to my friends and my family. And, I do see people or talk to people and they're like, it's not real, it's just. And I said, until you lose someone, and you're so lucky to be able to say that, because that's not the case with so many people that I know that have lost the loved ones. It's a real risk, and it is dangerous. And that's just my personal, the fight about it, but it hits you different when there's somebody that you love, and even in the paranormal, the losses. That's it's real.
It is. It's real, and it's painful, and even for the hold on a second, Peanut, what are you doing? Are you being a good girl? You don't look like you're being a good girl. Grandpa, come get Peanut. Sorry. Welcome to my world. Go see Grandpa.
I'm looking right now because I've got my cat Abracadabra is looking at me like I'm jumping up there. Just
can show off.
Yeah.
Well, I know this dog so well. I know guilt when I see it. What have you done? All right. So she's like, open the door, let me out. No, I'll be good. So I open the door, I let her out, and now she doesn't look like she's being good at all. So that means she dragged something out of my luggage and dragged it up underneath my bed. I'll bet that's that, right? Okay, so all right. So again, sorry. Distraction. Okay, she's back. I think that people think that because of what we're into, what we do, for a living or career, for, whatever, a hobby, whatever, that you would call it, depending on, what frame of reference you approach the field from, that somehow that we're inured to death, that we have a philosophy about it. It's not the end, it's a transformation. Life goes on in the afterlife. I am here to tell you right now, it doesn't make it any easier for any of us than it does for anyone else. When a soul leaves the vessel that we are used to being able to wrap our arms around, and that person is gone and has returned to the spirit realm, we miss them just as much as anyone else does. Oh, thank you, Erin. Erin, one of my friends, has joined us tonight, and she is very sorry for I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but we have the best viewers. I mean, like, hands down, second to none. My audience for A World Awakening, what Tony and I have built here, it just attracts the most wonderful people who truly, feel compassion
we love
and
watching
empathy, and it's really a great thing. But I really do feel like COVID is part of our world awakening to the fact that we are finite beings in these finite vessels, and that there's nothing fair about life and death. We buried my 7-year-old great niece on my father's 86th birthday. Tell me what's fair about that, because there's nothing that she was ripped off this planet in a flash flood in a split second, a child fully alive and enjoying every moment of her existence was suddenly gone that fast. And it is a reminder to all of us that it can be over that fast. And just because we might have a slightly different philosophy, or we might have a different perspective on life and death in the afterlife, does not make it any easier for any of us to part with someone we adore. And in fact, in some ways, it's almost, having an encounter. When I have an encounter with my sister April, it is so welcome and yet so bittersweet, because it just rekindles my depth of affection, my longing to hold her, and I can't. Missing her terribly, not being able to pick up the phone and chew her out about something she did to piss me off. I mean, she was a juvenile delinquent for almost 52 years. She was a juvenile delinquent. And I would give anything to have her back for one more hug, one more moment.
Absolutely.
One more moment.
Absolutely.
So we're not inured. We're not in any way shielded from what we study, what we believe, what we know, what we've seen in terms of spirit and contact. And, I'm so grateful that I grew up the way that I did, in the house that I did, because I know that spirit exists. It's not a belief from me or having faith about anything. I know that there is something beyond our mortal existence. And had I not been exposed to that as such a young person, where I had time to process it and assimilate it, I don't know if I would have necessarily recognized the signs from April. I have to take that back. She made it so crystal clear that it was her, that it was ridiculous how, it's like using a neon sign. I'm still here. I'm still here. But I think that one of the reasons why And I want your perspective on this as well. One of the reasons why so many people seem to be expressing a newfound interest in the paranormal is because of COVID. I think that it is breaking us wide open. It is breaking us open. It is sending us searching for meaning around all of this trauma and grief and loss. And so if we serve a purpose, and Mid-Mish is a place where people, like-minded, kindred spirits, can gather and discuss these things, God bless it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I found the same thing in private readings. Clients, new clients, people that, it took everything to get them to walk in that door, but they have to now, right? They just feel that calling to be able to, of losing people. And it feels like, anybody that I come in contact, they're not untouched, they're not untouched.
Yeah. There's not a single person, unaffected by it. What is it, 6-7 degrees of separation, that kind of thing, but it's even more so now. Anyone that doesn't think that they were affected or doesn't, assumes that they weren't affected, they were affected somehow. I know a lot of people, especially readers, Kim and myself, I don't know a single person that didn't struggle during last year. And I think a lot of it, I know myself personally, I was driven and told by my guides and my whole spirit to get creative, to focus on creativity. I don't know if it was like this for you or for you, Andrea, but I was taken back to a lot of memories, a lot of childhood memories, a lot of thinking of the future. When you're faced with that, could this happen? I take care of my mom. She's on kidney dialysis and end-stage kidney failure. So, I go do these events. I could go grocery shopping one day, and God forbid, I bring something. It's not. I think a lot of us were, especially during the quarantine, we were told purpose. What brings you purpose? What brings you meaningfulness in your life? What makes you happy? Focused on those things. I'm a survivor of depression and anxiety, so a lot of the paranormal, a lot of the metaphysical, a lot of the spiritual, like you said, we're not inured by it. A lot of this stuff has been coping. A lot of this stuff has been a healing mechanism through it. Not necessarily saying that this is fact, but being able to say and being able to be open to learning. I could listen to you talk all day, Andrea. You could say the same exact thing every single time, and I would pick up something different. And that's the love of learning that we like to bring to this, because how much things did you look up during COVID? How many things that you didn't know that we were looking up, new skills, new crafts, new talents, new everything.
Hey, I bought a tambourine.
I got a guitar.
I got a tambourine. I said I wanted it. Ever since I was a little girl, I told my parents I was going to be a tambourine player. And so during COVID, I ordered a tambourine and I played that tambourine. And I still play that tambourine. But right.
Yeah.
So it did, it's a weird time, it was a weird time.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I talk to, I work with about 10 different producers on different projects that are ongoing. And basically in the last 6 months or so, I've told all of them that we should rename our company Global Pandemic Productions, because we have gotten so much accomplished on paper and Venn diagrams, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And then over the last 6 months, we carefully, cautiously, protectively started doing it. And I've done 4. I've started a new series. I've done a documentary in the desert, and I've got 2 more documentaries coming out on TV this fall, in October and November, and all of them were done. during COVID, and they were all done with the right and proper precautions. Nobody got sick. You know, there is a way to get through this if you're thoughtful, careful, and deliberate about everything that you do. There's a way to get through this. And I think it's, I mean, we don't have to, we can live fearlessly, but not live recklessly. And, you know, that's one of the messages that I've put out for years and years and years is, you know, live fearlessly, but not recklessly. Be aware that this is how fast it can be over, you know, and if you value your life and the life of your loved ones, do whatever you need to do to mitigate the risk. And so, you know, I think that's what we're all doing. And still being able to embrace each other and, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, I'll tell you what, you know, next time I see you again, if you think I'm not going to be all over you like white on rice, you got another thing coming. If you want to hold your breath while I do it, that's fine. I'll probably squeeze it out of you anyway. But, you know, I can't stop living being afraid to die. I've done everything that I can. I have gotten my vaccines. I have made sure that everything in my environment is, you know, germ free is the best that I can do it. You know, and I'm not talking about the dog sticking her nose, you know, her tongue up my nose. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just, you know, and if she coughs, I just say, you know, you got the COVID? You got the COVID, babe? Yeah. And she's like, no, it's just allergies, you know. And so we have an understanding. We do. You know, I refuse now. I mean, I refuse to, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. And I refuse to remain sequestered and hidden away from the world that needs us, that, you know, needs us to comfort and console. I don't know if you're aware of this, but last April, I finished all the paperwork and all the, you know, the gobbledygook that goes along with it. And I finally became an ordained minister at the age of 62. And it was because I've been a grief counselor. I was trained as a grief counselor decades ago when I worked at a school. And I was the one that they went to when any of the students had a trauma or a loss. I was the one that was brought in to help that child. It was a boarding school. And I don't know why, but I look back now and I realize everything I've ever been through in my life has prepared me for now. Everything that I've ever learned has prepared me for now.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Absolutely.
You know, and so we will gather in celebration of this life. We will gather in celebration, being careful not to infect each other, being careful to, you know, I've been really good about following CDC guidelines, even though they change every 5 days, which is to be expected. You know, this is called a novel coronavirus for a reason. You know, they're learning, and then we have to learn from what they're learning as we go with this. But
absolutely.
You know, it's
Can I just say my favorite part up north when we were in the zoo for Michigan Paracon? I loved seeing people kind of like, you know, if it wasn't the immediate hug, it was like, oh, are you doing hugs? Like, and it wasn't like, I hate you if you're not doing hugs. It was like, oh, we're doing hugs. Okay, cool. If not, then, you know, still we can chat. But people were more, respectful of it. You know, it's like, it's instead of the, what is it, the Midwesterners and the Michiganders, I'm just going to sneak right past you. It's like, you know, hey, we're hugging. What are we doing?
I know. I noticed that too. And a lot of people came up to my table and they're like, I'm vaxxed. I've got, you know,
I get to hug you.
Cards. I'm like, honey, you don't have to prove to me. I'll take your word for it. Okay. You know, and like, can we do a selfie? I was like, yeah, of course. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, but did you notice the first day or two, everybody was cautious, a little tentative, a little bit asking permission to enter the space of another person. And by the end of that event, we were all over each other like
All of them.
rags.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
were, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's how this community is. You know, it really is. I mean, think about every event that you've ever been to and the events that you run. They're one freaking love fest after another, after another, after another.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's that energy that we bring into the world.
Exactly. Like I love it. Even just going to the conventions when I was younger, but the conventions that we do and the festivals that we do, it's like when you get there, say you even come alone. Like there's a lot of people that buy tickets and they come alone because they just want to go do something, but they're sitting there alone and they're meeting all these people that love and are just enthralled with what they're interested in the paranormal. When we do our witches stuff, the witches gathering, and even the paranormal investigative teams, you know, they don't know a lot of each other, so it gives them a chance to network. And when you're in that vicinity of people that love what you do, you can be yourself. It's not a professional setting. It's not a retail setting. It's a gathering, just like you said. And I love it when we all get together because you get to see more and more and more of people as they get closer. And it just, I love it.
I think one of the things that is, and I know that both of you can relate to this. Don't you love in this field when your friends become friends with your other friends? Don't you love it when your tribe like melds like butter being mixed into a recipe for, you know, the dough and the bread? It's just, and then everything gets all baked in together and everybody's all, oh my God. You know, so one of our viewers tonight,
butter all over that bread.
And it's like the top and just right as soon as it's crusty brown, and make sure that the Land O'Lakes salted butter is at room temperature when it comes out of the oven. Make sure about that. So one of our viewers tonight, Erin, I have an interesting story. I met her a few weeks ago, which feels like light years ago, by the way. This is another thing we should discuss. What is it about, you know, we do an event and then 3 weeks later it feels like it was 25 years ago, because you know, is our life moving at such light speed that it's whoosh, you know, that it's just that fast? I mean, really. But a few weeks ago it is, and it's like it's all speeded up or something. I don't know. But a few weeks ago I was doing an event, Strange Escapes with Amy Bruni and Adam Berry, right here in Florida at St. Augustine. Which was a fantastic event. It was great. There were only maybe 60 or 70 people there, which was intimate and lovely. And we all got to spend time together and get to know each other. And it's wonderful. And I went outside to walk the Peanut. It was her first paranormal convention. She had never been to one before. And I took her because the resort that we were staying at was very pet friendly. Bring her on in, bring her in. And everybody fell madly in love with her. The Princess Peanut Buttercup, who still looks guilty, by the way. She's done something. I'll find out when the show is over. She's done something. Oh God, I hate when she helps me unpack. Oh my God. She's up. I have to crawl up under I have to crawl up under the bed and see what she has taken up there to nest with of my nice clothing. Okay, so but anyway, we were doing this event, and Dad and I went out the front of the resort, and there was this lovely woman sitting there that I don't recall seeing before. And we were, you know, pretty well into the event. And I didn't realize until later that she's one of these kind of sits back and watches everything. She's not as overt as most of us are in terms of, wow, I'm right here. And so I was walking Peanut, and we greeted each other, and we started talking. And she has been absorbed into our lives. I mean, she was here half the day yesterday at our house, working and doing things for my dad, me telling her what I'm going to need for her to do for me as we go forward with this. I mean, Erin has been literally that fast absorbed
That's
her
amazing.
energy,
Yeah.
her
Mhm.
intellect.
Placed exactly
her-
right place,
Mhm.
right time. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And she's sitting on our terrace and saying, my life has completely changed. My life has
Yeah.
completely
Mhm.
changed. I never
Amazing.
thought for a moment that I would ever even have a chance to meet you, let alone become friends, let alone be absorbed into your,
Yes.
your netherworld here. It's
Right.
just, we live close enough that we can work together, we can see each other, we can,
That's
she
great.
just drove down from St. Augustine yesterday morning and spent most of the day with us. And we got all kinds of irons in the fire. She's, ready, willing, and
Right.
absolutely able to help us with any number of things, and thrilled to do so.
Awesome.
Now, what was it
Yeah.
what was it? I know this is a rhetorical question, but what was it that made that union, that connection occur? It feels cosmic to me. It feels universal. It feels spiritual. It feels destiny. There's kind of like a destiny about it. There's something special about it that we just immediately interlocked with our energy, with our, everything about her just, I mean,
Right.
Erin is just, oh, there she
I keep
is. Oh
hearing
my
the
God,
word
she's so sweet.
auspicious.
She's so beautiful too. Look at her picture. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. And,
is.
I mean,
Aw.
to go from being perfect strangers to like family
Right.
instantaneously. And, that's happened to me so many times where I've met people in this field and I walk up to them and I'm like, I've known you forever. I have known you forever. And I feel that way
I was gonna
about
say,
both
that's kind
of
of
you.
like
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
kind of like Kim and I. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
we met too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kind
yeah,
of the exact same
Mhm.
way. Like, yeah, I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Yep.
immediately we just kind of I know when I met Kim, it was like, oh, there you are. We're
Yeah.
Yep.
like, oh, okay.
Yep. Oh, there
I've
you
known
are.
her for
Where have
years.
you
What are you
been?
talking about? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
he was across the room.
Yeah.
And I looked to John, one of my bestest of friends, and I said, hey, look at that guy. And I haven't even met him before. I said, he's got something. I said, he's got something. There's something very special about him. He's got something. And we may have only just said hi that day, but funny that it was like, yep, that is.
And I was working a show,
Yeah.
and Kim was up doing a workshop, and I was like, who is this woman? Who is this woman? I love her. And then, weeks later, Kim's working at the shop, and we just,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hey, we just.
Yeah.
So.
It
What do we
really
think?
makes you
Just the
think
two of
about
us.
it. The insto bonding. I mean, we're better than Gorilla Glue.
Mhm.
I mean, insto,
Oh,
like
yeah.
super glue. I
Mhm.
mean, there's just something about the instantaneous bonds that occur. And it makes me think that this is the time that we're all supposed to be coming together to, to kind of in a cohesive way, even though we're scattered all over the place, we come together in these groupings for these events and generate all this massive healing, loving, pure light energy. And then we disperse and we go back to where we came from.
Yep. Bye.
But
Yep.
the energy doesn't change. The energy doesn't leave. Kim, I can pick up my phone and call you and we can get like immediately right. Justin, when we were on the phone the other day, it was like, wow, it's just, it's automatic. It's immediate. No time or distance in any way diminishes it at all. And we always pick up right where we left off, immediately right where we left off during our last conversation. And it's absolutely beautiful. But I really do, in my heart, believe that we are coming together with purpose and reason to help heal the world, to enlighten the masses, and to help with the spiritual ascension and the wave of consciousness raising that is going on all over this planet, and that each and every one of us plays an integral part. Each and every one of us has a very specific role to play, and just simply by living and loving each other, we're doing our job.
Right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the more people try to fight, I know everyone's gone through this whole thing with COVID, but it's made them accept themselves a lot more. And I know just me, myself personally, I've had to accept myself a lot more. And that's loving yourself.
Because you have to spend a lot of time
You
with
got a lot,
yourself
yeah,
during COVID, didn't we?
it's very quiet.
Yeah. I spent a lot
Yep.
of time by myself, which
Yep.
I'm not used to. I'm go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had to get to know me on a way deeper level,
Right.
you know, because it was just me, you know.
Yep.
My husband was still working. My cats really don't talk to me, and I talk to them. Yeah. My cat puppet shows, I think, was putting them to sleep.
It's the kitties, but it's the love, you know. I know, you know, with Kim, with you, Andrea, it's just when you meet it's that love. There's that love there. Like I tell everyone, when I met Andrea, there was this glow from the corner, and it was just, who is this woman? And you were like floating out of Paracon and floating over here and floating. I'm like, who is this woman? And I think it's, you know, and just like you said, he's got something. It's that love. If you're coming to the table with love, first and foremost, no other intentions, just here, I'm here to love you. What do you need? What can I help you with? That seems to be more people that we're being attracted to, being revolved around, coming to us for teachings or coming to us for questions. You know, they're asking, how can I love more? How can I love other people more and heal from not being able to love, I guess.
Right. My kind of thing was the same with Andrea because, you know, Dawn, again, I always talk about Dawn, but one of my bestest of friends had just gone through a huge loss. And I think it was our first Paracon too. And Dawn walked up to Andrea's table, and I don't even know what's happening. I'm just looking around. And Andrea just said, "Can I hug you?" And she just took Dawn in her arms. And like, I could see that love and I could see the healing on my friend. She just went through such a horrible loss of her child. And I just was like, this is a beautiful woman, you know? It was like, you knew what to give. It was amazing. And you're funny. So I like that too.
It's the best that we can do for each other. It's the purest to be pure of heart, to be compassionate, to be able to put ourselves in the shoes of others, to be empathetic. That's what's healing us, is to get back to that, what is our essential nature. I think that we have failed in creating division and separation from each other. It's all an illusion. We're all little thin filaments in a massive tapestry. And if, you know, when we get to the point when we understand, when we have a realization of our oneness, a realization of oneness, when we begin to see our old reality with new eyes, when we begin to understand that everything is one thing, it's all energy and existence and consciousness and love. You know, I've said over and over again, probably ad nauseum, love is the answer to every single question. I don't care what the question is. The common denominator is love. If you want healing, if you want truth, if you want the essential element of who we are and why we're here, it's that. And it can't be a noun. I know it says it's a noun in the dictionary, but that's bullshit. Love is a verb. Love is an action word. Right. You must put it into action. And by any expression of kindness, any expression, you know, whether it's just smiling at a stranger as they pass in the grocery store, or you know, a compliment to a friend, whether it's, buying somebody a cup of coffee that's in a car behind you, just the littlest gestures bring us to this, wow, that person just did that for me, doesn't even know me. Well, guess what? We do know each other. Right. All of us know each other. We all cry tears of salt. We all bleed red. We all suffer the loss of our loved ones if we live long enough to lose them. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And our sameness, oh my God, excuse me a second. There's gonna have to be some.
Speaking of the love.
Go to sleep. Oh my God.
And have a good night, Andrea. We'll see you later.
She's so needy tonight. She's like, pick me up. Oh, I mean, I swear to God, I don't even look at this. Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Okay.
Looks like we lost them.
Oh God. No, they'll come back.
They'll be.
Come back, Honey M. Come back. It's like, at first I thought, okay, he's just blowing up the screen so everybody can see Princess Peanut Butter Cup. Yes, my baby.
Hi, Princess Peanut Butter Cup.
Okay, are we back?
No, so you're back. You're back.
Okay.
I know, this is great. It's magic. It's magic. It's the magic of the internet. It is. It's wonderful. So, I've been, droning on and on and on. But, the thing is, we're preaching to the choir. And, not only to each other, but to the people that are watching and listening to us. However, have you noticed that the choir's getting bigger? Have you noticed?
Absolutely.
So talk to me about how many people have come. How many people have come to you in the last 18 months to 2 years telling you about experiences that they've had that they've never had before, whether it be above in the skies above, or sensing a presence in their own home? Or have you noticed a marked uptick in paranormal activity? And why do you think that is? I'm very interested to hear your perspective, both of you.
Yeah, I definitely have noticed that. What I find so interesting is a lot of, my granddaughter born in 2000, the millennials, and it is so interesting with her, watching her even and her group of friends. And, I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook and watching how their energies are shifting. It's amazing. Carrying crystals, right? I wish I could have done that. I would have loved to take crystals in my backpack to school. It would have been the best thing ever. So I think that I find that in the interest in astrology, I teach a lot of different metaphysical classes, astrology, numerology, divination, and Reiki. So it's just been really kind of cool to watch the people kind of just strolling in that have had no interest, asking questions. How can I need to know more. I want to learn this. And paranormal experiences. Absolutely. I keep hearing that as well. And with people close to me, people close up to me that are like, real skeptic and that's kind of crazy. Now are like, oh, whoa, wait, a guy here, he's a good friend of mine from high school, came over the other day and we were out just chatting and he's like, what happened to me? And I said, no. And he said, I saw a ghost. He said, I don't believe in ghosts. He said, but I saw a ghost. And I said, yeah. And so he told me his experience. So yes, definitely uptick. And so it's kind of interesting for me coming from like the astrological type thing of astrology is also, why is this happening is, we're sitting on that edge of the age of Aquarius because we're not quite there yet. We're almost there. And, we're turning to the consciousness of humanity. That's a whole new turn. It feels slow right now. We're inching up, but it is just, we're on that breaking edge of it astrologically. So, I love that energy and you can feel it. And that's why, and I get a little crazy with astrology, but that right now we're in this period with the planet of
Uranus, which is he's lightning, he's electric, he's charged, he's he's sudden, he's unpredictable. Well, he's going to battle 3 times this year in 2021. He's battling Saturn, and Saturn is this kind of like dead, planet, and he's like real authoritarian, and he likes the old ways. He doesn't want to change, so that's where we are. They go to battle like in a boxing ring 3 times this year, where they're just kind of like duking it out, and that's what we're feeling. We're getting that twist and that turn, right, between the old way and the new way, and they're hashing it out. And Uranus, he's he's electric. He will explode. He is, he's going to make the changes, like it or not. Saturn, we've got to do it a new way. So that's just kind of like my geek astrology stuff that I love. So for me, when I asked that question about seeing this change, more people having experience, more people awakening, to me, it's so, it's so apparent that we're just sitting on that edge of the age of Aquarius and the age of a humanity consciousness. For us, for we the people, all of us, that we are all one, and when you even said that earlier, it's like, we are all one, we are all love. And you said, like, I think of Florida, I think of every single grain of salt that exists in that beautiful salt water, and that, in the Gulf of Mexico, and we're all the Gulf of Mexico. We all exist together, we make that up. So I know that was long-winded, but that's my perspective on, how things are changing. And it's going to, and even if you look numerologically, and we look astrologically, what's coming for, even next year, we're on the brink. For me personally, what I see, in the intuitive psychic area, also seeing, using astrology and numerology together, I'm looking at 2023. Before we're really kind of making the big moves. It's still going to be hard next year. You know what I mean? Well, we're in a 6 year. It's a global 6 year for us, but we are making our way. We just got to hold on. We just have to love. We just have to get together. But we also have to remember that, old ways and that whole Saturn energy. Well, Saturn's awesome. And he's about lessons and karma and wanting us to do the right
Saturn
things
return.
And have a
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
He wants us, but that we have to allow the change. We have to, sometimes it's hard. It's the hardest thing to do, right? It's change. But Uranus and that whole energy that's what this planet is. We're on the brink of huge change for humanity consciousness. So that's my take on that. I don't know, Justin.
Well, I just know so many people in my life and my network that totally disregard everything, like they total skeptic, which I'm always 50-50 anyways, but they come to it total skeptic, and in the same conversation, I've never experienced anything like that, but there was this one time where this one thing happened. And it changed my life. So I've noticed a lot more people having those experiences and doing that. But I almost feel like this has also been like spirit coming in and saying, okay, we've given you the tips, the tools, the teachings, the skills, the stones, the crystals, the candles, the everything. Get it. Because if you don't get it now, you're not going to get it. Right. So a lot of us that are in tune with that love, with the spirituality and all that, we're getting reached out to by people that, we're going through the same thing. How do we battle the horrible COVID fatigue, quarantine fatigue? A lot of people are reaching out. How do I meditate? What is going on with my house? How can I sage this? How can I sage that? Like what? It's having that quiet, like we were talking about earlier. You've got space with yourself, but also you've got space with your space, and you've got space with your spirit and your soul, and there's a lot of things speaking. So you could have someone come through and say, hey, I saw a spirit. You could have another one come through and say, hey, I've been spoken to in a dream. Well, I consider that pretty important if you've never been spoken to before, but I think it's a lot of people waking up, like immediately disregarding it. No, I don't know. But now that I think about it, this happened. So it's almost like we're all we've remembered, right? We're trying to catch up. I've been reading the book since I was a kid and doing my research, but even I had to be guided back by spirit during quarantine to heal myself. And unless you're in this field, a lot of people look at us and they're like, how do you do that? Well, there's, you got to step off into the rabbit hole first. But, it's they're ready and they're eager and they're open. And it's now they're looking at that differently. And I think they're asking the right questions now.
I think a lot of people have gone out and spent more time in nature than they normally do,
yes,
too,
for sure.
which has rekindled or kindled a deeper awareness of how fragile she is.
Yep.
And, I think that we're really at a place now where we're beginning to turn a corner and we don't have a moment to waste, not a moment to waste. We are right on the precipice of global disaster in terms of climate change. And you hear less and less of the climate deniers because I think they're starting to realize how stupid they sound. That, I mean, this is so in your face. Just, track the numbers, look at the data of the last 20 years on this planet have been 20 of the hottest years in recorded history.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This isn't like a blip on the radar or an anomaly. This is a problem. And this has been forecast, no pun intended, for more than 50 years. And now it's manifesting and creating disasters all over the globe. It is a true awakening, a true awareness of what is happening. And, the elements are, whether it's earth, air, fire, or water, they're all protesting. It's all, a big, huge protest of no, we're going to have, I'm angry at the universe about ripping Lucy from this world that she loved. I'm angry at the universe. I'm really angry at us. I really am, because it's just sheer ignorance and the unwillingness to admit that we've got a problem and that we need to change our ways that create the kind of disastrous flooding that just utterly transformed our family in a split second as a wall of water collapsed the house she was in. It was over that fast. I look at Australia burning. Australia burned. Thousands of different species were so impacted that some of them are now either extinct or right on the verge of it because of out of control wildfires. California, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, the West, the western third of our country has been decimated by fire. The only thing that hasn't burned is the desert, because dirt doesn't burn. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And if we don't begin globally to address this in a very, very aggressive, even retroactive way, we can all lean over and kiss our asses goodbye. Because here's the thing. We don't have a plan B and we don't have a planet B. And if we don't clean up our act, then we don't even deserve Earth. She will survive without us. We can't survive without her. And what did quarantine do? Do you remember back in the first few months where people that lived in India suddenly saw the Himalayan mountains for the first time in their lives? For the first time, Milan, Italy, no longer allows cars into their city. You can walk it or you can bike it, but you're not allowed. I mean, the air cleared all over this world. All the factories shut down. Everything. the animals started coming out of the woodwork. They started coming into the empty streets out of, where they had been hidden away before. And they started, looking around this world like, what's going on here? What's happening here? It was, I think it was a real wake-up call for humanity. There was a hole over the Arctic Circle that closed within 3 weeks. That hole was opening in our atmosphere so that it could shed the toxins that we pour into our atmosphere. And suddenly the toxins were not there, and that hole closed in our stratosphere. The ozone layer changed, and some of the scientists were like, well, we can't really prove that it was because of quarantine. Okay, listen to me. These events just coincided, okay? How about you prove to me that it wasn't the quarantine that caused this? It wasn't the sudden shutdown of all humanity that showed us that given the opportunity, this planet can heal itself. Now, what are we going to do to expedite that and be a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem? What are we going to do now? Are we going to go back to how we used to live? Or are we going to, eyes wide open, go into our future with a deeper, clearer understanding of what our role is and the sympathetic between us as animals on this planet and the planet? Come back on EM. Come back. Oh, they're there. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're gone. Yeah.
It was really weird for a second, but we're back.
And sometimes Tony says, sometimes it's just my energy. Like I'll just the whole screen will just go blank. I don't know. I tend not to blame myself for these things. I just blame the internet. But some say it's my energy.
High vibing.
I know. I am high vibing. I am. Tony, you want to come in? You got any questions for our wonderful guests tonight before we get the last of their info?
Well, I just have to say what they have been putting together and what they have coming up in November just sounds amazing. I mean, so many fantastic guest speakers. You guys should be really proud of the work that you've done. And I know the audience has been responding the exact same way. You guys are well respected for what you've been doing, and it takes a lot to put something like this together, and the amount of energy and time to make this stuff happen. So, pats on the back to both of you. Just some fantastic stuff here.
And Megan,
thank you. Yes, and Megan. She's great.
And to the entire community for being so supportive, teaching us, and
seeing us. Seeing us and seeing our purpose and just, supporting us.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nice.
Feeling all the love. We love it. We love you guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's great. It's a great event. I can't wait to get back up there. I would like you to purchase an electric blanket for me in advance with like a 200-foot long electrical cord, and just plug me in anywhere. I'll just walk around with it. I'll make it look all festive and
I'll have it preheated for you, Andrea. I'm ready to know it now.
Thank you. Okay, so how can people reach you in terms of getting tickets? How can they reach you? What's the easiest way to get to you in terms of becoming a part of this event? Oh, Tony, I wish you could just hop a plane and come, honey.
Wish I could too. We are already planning our 2022 agenda, and there have been a lot of items and places that are going to be on that list. So
marvelous,
fabulous. Well, I know. For those of you who want to get tickets, you can go to midmichiganparacon.com, midmichiganparacon.com/tickets to go directly to see all the tickets. But if you want to learn more about us, just go to our website. There's all kinds of tabs and information, pictures, videos from past paranormal conventions, but all your tickets are going to be at midmichiganparacon.com/tickets. We do have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/midmishparacon, MIDMICHPARACON. Go ahead and like us there. We do a lot of our announcements, our event pages. That's where we'll post Andrea and get Andrea's information up and all the speakers. So a lot of our announcements go out through Facebook. That's how we communicate with our people. So definitely add us to the Facebook page. Also, any events that we do, check out facebook.com/magical Michigan events, and you'll get attached to everything that the Kim and Justin show in Michigan do. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Tony and I have been delighted to welcome you to the show tonight. I hope
Thank you so
haven't
much
been-
for having us.
We did. We were so nervous because we said, but yeah, you make it.
I was like, we're talking to Andrea. It's
Yes, yeah,
fine.
you
We're
made it
talking to
just
Andrea.
so easy. Thank
Well,
you so much.
you know, and
always.
Tony's the same way. I mean, Tony and I are a perfect fit. You know, our personalities mesh
Yes.
together so well, and he is truly a magic man. He is I could not do this without Tony Rathman. He is oh God, I just love this man so much, and I want you to love him too.
Yes.
And don't you
Yes.
worry,
Thank you,
I
Tony.
can't get him here this year because he's booked like up to here, but I'm gonna get him to Mid-Mich, and we're gonna party in
Yes.
Flint. Like, you know, we won't drink the water, but we're gonna party in Flint. Eventually. Oh my God! Again, you know,
there's a whole nother
circles all back into the same shit, right?
That's the next. That's the next show.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's the next show. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
all
hope
so
that you know, and feel free too, because this gets archived right away on our Facebook and our YouTube channels. So if you want to go back in and see the comments and answer anybody that said anything, it's a wonderful way to spend an hour just engaging with everybody that has watched the show, and then of course many more catch it after the fact. So in the archives. So thank you for coming on tonight. It's been truly our pleasure.
Yes. We'll see you November 6th.
Yes, you will.
So much.
Love you guys. And my
Love
message
you.
to all of our listeners tonight, all of our viewers tonight, is there is reason to hope. There is still reason to hope. Let hope be your guide. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.